Are you tired of uncomfortability in your life? When does that ever go away? Let's figure it out. Today we're talking about the uncomfortable and being uncomfortable and what that feels like and what it looks like. And I know a lot of us, we go through that process in our business, in our life. We get tired of it. When does this end? When is this gonna feel normal? When am I gonna like doing this eventually is a common question I get all the time, specifically around lead gen and making phone calls and doing all those actions, right? But you have to understand the state of our mind and how we get to where we need to be to build a habit to make things comfortable in our life. So I'm going to take you through 3 key steps to get us there so that you understand what it looks like and how we get from point A to point B to finally point C. Let me give you an example. When you're driving for the first time, when you first drive a car, right? Think about it. Just picture this with me. You're in a car, it's the first time, you're getting ready for your driver's test, or maybe your parents are showing you how to drive. Think back on that moment. How uncomfortable were you driving that car? That very first time you put your foot on that gas pedal and the foot on the brake, and you're driving that multi-thousand-pound vehicle down the road at high speeds, and it freaks you out. We're all scared of that moment, right? We don't exactly know what we're doing. That's what we call our state of doing. That's our actual action, where we're thinking about every little thing involved with driving a car, right? You're thinking about putting your foot on the gas and the brake. When do I stop? Do I need to check all my mirrors? I forgot, is my seatbelt still attached? Like, you're literally scared, worried, but you're doing it, but it is so uncomfortable. It's the most uncomfortable state we're in because your entire being has to focus on doing that task. Let's progress a little bit further. That's state number 1. Next state is what we call our thinking state, right? Where we're still thinking about things, but we feel a little bit more natural in that action. So going back to driving, think about it a little bit more of you're jumping in the car, you're 18, 19, you feel a little bit better about it. You've driven the car quite a few times now. You actually turn on the music, right? You let down the windows. You feel more comfortable with what you're doing. Now you're still thinking about where you're going, how you're gonna get there, some of the actions, how fast am I going? You're still at that place, right? You're still focused on the thinking process of driving, but it doesn't feel as uncomfortable anymore. It doesn't feel as catastrophic to your life in that moment anymore. You're thinking, but you're still doing that action in a way that makes you feel good. That's phase 2. The last mental state that you need to get in is the state of being. The actual item where you're so submersed in that activity, you don't even know you're doing it. We do it the same thing with driving. How many of you guys have literally gone from point A to point B? You get there and you're like, holy crap, I don't even remember when I drove, when I got in the car. I don't even remember driving at all. I just ended up here. It's crazy. We all have gone through that phase where it's like you're doing something else, you're talking on the phone, you just arrive at your destination and you don't even remember driving because it's that natural. You've driven that car so many times in your life now that just the act of driving is so fluid. You don't even know when you're doing it. You don't even think about braking or stopping or gassing up at the green light. Like, you don't even remember. It just becomes who you are. That's the same way we need to get to in real estate, in life, in business as a whole. Our life is a constant state of doing, thinking, and being in everything we become comfortable in. So if you feel so uncomfortable in making calls, in lead generation, or anything involving those things, you need to start working and practicing because that's the only way to get to a state of being. Tiger Woods didn't just become the best of all time right off the gates. He had a state of doing, then he had a state of thinking, and now he's at that state of being. He's hit a golf ball 10,000+ times. He's probably hit a golf ball 1,000,000 times, I would say. Now he doesn't even think about it. He just hits the golf ball. It's the same concept in our business. You need to do that action so many times that you don't even think about doing that action anymore. You just do it subconsciously. Once we get to that state in our life, that state of being in any action that we do, then nothing is uncomfortable anymore. Everything feels good and we just naturally do it. We're gifted with that talent, not by just sheer given to us, but by sheer will of practicing it over and over and over again. We're gonna see you guys next time.